Hello, everybody. Welcome to Stampin' with Theresa on YouTube. My name's Theresa. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator located in the Pacific Northwest of the United States, specifically Bothell, Washington, which is just a little bit north and just a little bit east of Seattle, so very close to Seattle. I want to say thank you for stopping by and watching my video today. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and go ahead and click the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. And you can find me on the web at stampinwiththeresa.com, and Theresa is spelled with an H. The link to my website will be in the description box below. And also you can shop with me at stampinwiththeresa.stampinup.net if you're interested in any of the products I'm going to show you today. Today we are going to make a card featuring the Happy Birthday to You stamp set. Really excited about this stamp set. Love it. It's so beautiful. And for this card, I was inspired by the coloring of the Magnolia paper that we have. And we're using the Magnolia Lane Memories and More paper today. And actually we're using the paper, the Memories and More paper pack. So we're going to use some little cards out of there. I trimmed this off. We're going to put that little slice on the inside here. We're going to feature the Happy Birthday to You stamp set, which is free with a qualified purchase in our current sale-a-bration catalog. We are going to use Whisper White cardstock and Petal Pink cardstock to do the magic here. And then we've got a few embellishments from the Parisian suite in the current mini catalog. So we'll get to that. And we're going to use our Stampin' Blends today to make these cards. So really excited to get started here with you. So let's get stamping. First things I always like to do is just go ahead and give my card base a crease. I also like to start off with stamping. So we're going to use, by the way, the card is cut into a very traditional card base. It's a full sheet of 8.5 by 11 cut in half at 5.5. So it's, or excuse me, 5.5 this way. So cut in half. It's an 11 cut in half at 5.5. So it comes out to 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score at 4.25. I'll have the dimensions below. Okay, we're going to put in a layering piece on the inside so you can write your message on a nice white piece of paper. And we're also going to stamp a greeting on there. So if you don't want to write a ton of stuff, we'll take up some space with the paper and the stamp. So why don't we just quickly stamp right now? And that's my favorite part. So let's just go for it. So the inside of the card, we're going to say Happy Birthday to You. So let's grab our Happy Birthday stamp. And we're just going to kind of stamp it up toward the top. I'm one of those paranoid stampers, so I always give it a little test drive. I don't know why. That's been my habit for as long as I can remember. Okay. So we'll just go ahead and stamp that right here. Whew, turned out good. Woohoo! All right. Why I get paranoid, I don't know, but I do. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and take the 2U, and we're going to kind of put it right in this area. All right. And then on this piece of paper, we're going to stamp this beautiful cake. I love this cake. We're going to be cutting this out with one of the Stitch So Sweetly stitch scallop rectangle dies. So we're not looking for perfection on like the, you know, we can fix the centering and everything when we do the die. So we're going to go ahead and just press this in so we make sure we get good coverage. Good enough. Okay, we'll set that aside. Stamping is done. So real quick, let's just go ahead and glue paper real quick, and then we'll do our last little bit. We'll color and then die cut. So let's just take this little strip. You can really do any side. That would actually be quite lovely too. But I'm just going to keep it with this because that's going to be the outer side of the paper. So we'll just glue this to the bottom of this paper here. Just, you know, why not use up the scraps to decorate? That's what I'm saying. Instead of recycling it or trying to save it as though you're going to use it later with something that doesn't necessarily coordinate with the project you're doing, just go for it. It makes me so sad to toss out scraps. Sometimes you just have to though, because scraps can get overwhelming and you just get to a point where you know you're not going to use those. I also give them away to my nieces or, you know, people who I think might like to use them for various projects. But if they're too tiny, they do go in the trash, I hate to say. Okay, so let me find my sample and see exactly. Okay, so what we did here was we are just going to center this piece right on the front here. But with that being said, I love using designer series paper. It is my number one thing besides the stamping that I'm attracted to in paper crafting is the pretty papers. And like everyone, I tend to have trouble with the hoarding factor of it. And then this one we used a petal pink. This one we're going to use this pretty daffodil delight, or is this so saffron? This might be so saffron, excuse me. So we're going to use this pretty one here, and we're going to just kind of, looks like it's about, I'm going to eyeball it here. That looks pretty good. I love copying things that I've already designed. It makes future projects go so fast. So I made this card a few weeks ago, actually, and I'm just now getting to where I can film it. Okay, so let's go ahead and cap up the glue for a minute, set this aside, and let's color. We're going to use the Stampin' Blends today, and I am going to start with the flowers. That's what I'll start with. I'm actually going to start with the leaves more specifically. We're using light old olive here. Excuse me, light mossy meadow. And I am just barely touching the ink to the paper. And the Stampin' Blends are an alcohol-based ink, and it just saturates that paper and bleeds right into it. If we flip it over, you can see how it just bleeds through the paper. That's what it's supposed to do. Don't be alarmed. If you're coloring something that's really thin, you're definitely going to want to protect your surface because the alcohol, it's like a Sharpie. So you're going to seep through paper and it will stain your surface, and you can get it off, but you have to get it off with like isopropyl alcohol or some other kind of solvent-based cleaner. Which would, if you have a surface that's got like a lacquer finish or something, I mean, you'll damage your surface. So trying to clean it off. So make sure if you're coloring on thin paper, you've got a few layers of paper beneath it to protect that surface. Or you're coloring on a surface you don't mind if it gets stained. That's a pro tip. I color a lot of ribbons with the alcohol ink, and it's such a great technique, but it absolutely does sink through the ribbon onto the paper, so you definitely need to make sure you're protecting your surface. Okay, I'm gonna color the little berries and the buds, and this is dark petal pink. The nice thing also about this, using these markers, is it gives you a really nice professional style kind of look. And I mean, you barely have to, it goes quick. At least doing these magnolia flowers. And these I'm just doing kind of a scribble, really. I'm not even caring necessarily, just making sure that like these shadowy looking pieces or something where like you would think there would be a natural shadow based on the way the petal curls up. And magnolias that grow in my area are kind of, the color radiates out from the center, and but they're mostly white. So I'm kind of just putting the dark petal pink in the middle and kind of, in the shadowy zones, and literally just scribbling it on. So we want to keep white showing on this. So we're going to go in now with our light petal pink, and we're just going to basically scribble out to blend that in just a bit. And again, literally, that's done. We're just scribbling and just kind of blending out that darker ink, and again having the things radiate out, but you see a lot of white still on these flowers. That's just so easy peasy. Let's go ahead and color the cake. I want to let's start with the dark saffron actually. Let's color these centers of the flowers. I'm going to color the shadowy areas of the cake. We're going to have a yellow buttercream frosting. I love, in addition to this being the color of the colors that coordinate with the Magnolia Lane Designer Series paper, this is actually my parents' wedding colors back in, I think they got married in 74. And so their wedding colors were basically this kind of petal pink and this butter yellow color. So it just kind of cracks me up a little bit. It's kind of nostalgic. My parents are actually divorced too, which is the funny thing about it. But I love looking at their old wedding photos. It's funny how life goes, isn't it? Okay. I think they look back fondly on their wedding as well. They're still friends, which is nice. Okay, so we're going to give this just a little bit deep in those shadows, just a little bit on here. Let's give a little bit of depth. The cake was the hardest part of this whole thing. Okay, we're going to just give this cake stand a little bit of depth as well. We're going to basically think of it as clear, but let's just give it some shadow with the gray and just color those lines. So it just kind of looks like there's a little bit of something going on. Okay, so now we're going to bring up the Big Shot. And oops, I've got this on. I need the crank near me. Okay. So bringing on the Big Shot, we're going to grab the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and we're going to use, this is a great die set. This comes with all of these scalloped rectangles with the stitching on it. I just love it. So we are going to kind of center this on here a bit, centering it both vertically and horizontally. And I think that looks pretty good, actually. So I'm just going to use a little bit of Post-it tape and tape this down. Okay, I do have the magnetic plate on here, but for some reason, those things can slip sometimes, even with the magnetic plate. And I don't like taking chances on things, oops, that I've colored, because you've taken a lot of time to do that coloring. And it breaks my heart if I don't quite get it right. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, luckily that's still kind of in. What happened here, which sometimes happens, is that this didn't actually cut all the way through on the back. Do you see that? So luckily, I don't think I shifted that too much. I think we're still going to be able to salvage this. And if not, then we will figure something else out and we'll salvage this color job. We just may not have that scallop edge. So let's see what we can do here. I'm going to shift it in a different way. And I'm going to run it through just a couple more times. Just make sure it gets through. There's a lot of reasons why that can happen. Every Big Shot's a little bit different in the pressure that it has. And I just got those new plates. So those new plates just might not be a tight enough squeeze on these. And that just happens sometimes. But you guys, I think we got it. So I don't think we need to worry. Woohoo! Oh, how lucky we are. Okay, and I'm not going to pop this up on dimensionals or anything. I'm actually just going to glue it down with regular liquid glue. We're going to put a bow on this and some gems, so we'll try to make it just a little bit flatter. I recently went to go mail a card to my mom, actually. A thank you card from the 13-year-old boy to my mother for a thank you note for Christmas gift, actually. And there was a, come on, there we go. There was a gem on it, but it was like one of those enamel dots, so it wasn't even sharp. But they are getting a little bit cranky with the little hard things in cards. So I actually had to pay an additional 15 cents because they weren't going to put it through the machine. So just beware of that. That's kind of the first time that's ever happened to me. And I didn't just flop it in the mail. I did take it up because I was mailing something else overseas. So I gave it to him. She goes, oh, nope, sorry, nice try. So just kind of beware a little bit with that. You may need to add an extra 15 cents apparently to your postage to ship things with the gems in them. Okay, we're using this beautiful petal pink metallic edge ribbon. It's got the champagne metallic edge. Literally my favorite thing in the mini well, it's tied for my favorite thing in the current mini catalog. And actually, it's my favorite ribbon ever from Stampin' Up. And that's saying a lot because I've been using Stampin' Up stuff since like 2005. So, and we've had a lot of beautiful ribbon over the years. I've actually been a demonstrator since 2008, early 2008. Okay. There we go. Just gonna make this pretty little bow here. And I actually do want it to kind of go a little sideways here. Not necessarily straight, so it's more like that. But I do want this tail. So sometimes you just need to fuss with the ribbon a little bit. And that's okay. All right, so there's our ribbon to add a little accent, but because I can never leave well enough alone, and this is my tied for first favorite thing in the mini catalog, are these champagne rhinestones, the basic jewels. Or, yeah, they're called champagne rhinestone basic jewels. So we're gonna add these as well, because I mean, we need bling. Gotta bling this baby out. It's such a pretty card. Okay, and this of course is a birthday card, but you don't have to put birthday on the inside. This would be a lovely wedding card, an anniversary card, you know, whatever you feel like doing, wherever cake would be involved, retirement maybe. That's the type of card it could be. And there we go. I always like to do 3 gems. I'm just stuck on that for some reason. But anyway, this is the beautiful card that we've made today. Lovely birthday card. I would love to get this card. This is a card I would literally save forever. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have questions, comments, anything, please leave a comment. I respond to all my comments. And again, you can find me on my website at stampinwiththeresa.com, or you can shop with me at Stampin' Up with stampinwiththeresa.stampinup.net. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.